ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो
ओम नमो
भगवते
भगवते
वासुदेवाय।
वासुदेवाय।
नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो
ओम नमो
भगवते
भगवते
वासुदेवाय।
वासुदेवाय।
नारायण नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वती व्यासं ततो जायमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो
गोविन्दाय नमो नमः।
नमः। ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते
श्रीमते
भक्तिवेदान्ता
भक्तिवेदान्त
स्वामिने
स्वामी
नामिने
नाम
नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी
गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष
शून्यवादी
शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे।
Hare Krishna. So who would like to recite the shloka 1, 11, 15?
I can try, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, go ahead. We'll repeat after you.
द्वारि द्वारि ग्रहणां च
द्वारि
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 ग्रहाणां
ग्रहणां
च
च
दध्ये अक्षताफलेक्षुभिः
दधि
दधि अक्षता
अक्षतफले
फलेक्षुभिः
अलङ्कृतां पूर्णकुम्भे
अलङ्कृतां
अलङ्कृतां
पूर्णकुम्भे
पूर्णकुम्भैर्
बलिभिर्धूपादीपके
बलिभिर्धूपदीपकै
बलिभिर्धूपदीपके।
Translation. In each and every door of the residential houses, auspicious things like curd, unbroken fruits, sugar cane, and full water pots with articles for worship, incense, and candles were all displayed. Purpose. The process of reception according to Vedic rites is not at all dry. The reception was made not simply by decorating the roads and streets as above mentioned, but by worshipping the Lord with requisite ingredients like incense, lamps, flowers, sweets, fruits, and other palatable eatables, according to one's capacity. All were offered to the Lord, and the remnants of the foodstuff were distributed amongst the gathering citizens. So it was not like a dry reception for these modern days. Each and every house was ready to receive the Lord in a similar way, and thus each and every house of the on the roads are on the roads and streets distributed such remnants of food to the citizen, and therefore the festival was successful. Without distribution of food, no function is complete, and that is the way of Vedic culture. Vedic culture. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Want to share something, Mataji, on this?
So Prabhuji, it reminds me that how Prabhupada says that, our Krishna conscious moment is singing, dancing, and feasting. So that's it's been followed by ISKCON, that we sing, we dance, and then we feast. So Prabhupada is telling here that uh, uh, the process of reception according to the Vedic rites is not at all dry. Although we saw that you read, the previous verse, how Prabhupada is saying the ways to decorate naturally your house for uh, on festivals, and then Prabhupada is telling here that the welcome that in each and every house, the door of the residential houses, auspicious things like curd, unbroken fruits, sugar cane, and full water pots with article for worship, incense, candles were all displayed. And Prabhupada is telling that, and they, in this, like sweets and other palatable eatables according to one's capacity is being prepared, and then all they were offered to the Lord first, and the remnants being given to the distributed among the gathering citizens. So this we've seen in the temple, and we also do it at home. Like we make prasad and first offer to the Lord, and later, family members at home, they eat and they get the prasadam, and in the temple also it's the same way. So Prabhupada is saying, so it was not like a dry reception of these modern days. So so Prabhupada, so Prabhuji, it's Prabhupada is saying it's not a dry reception of the modern days, but like we also do, like normally the temples, and when people do daan, normally people are running these bhandaras and everything. So it's not also dry. So can you please explain what Prabhupada is trying to say here?
So yes, Mataji. So if you are doing something, generally, it is coming in a Vedic culture only, right? Even if you do some reception or anything which is done in India. But if you see modern time, many times there are situations where so many people are dying of hunger, and so many people are, not really having facilities and resources. And on the other hand, there is a unequal distribution of wealth, and people are, using in different ways, but not feeding the poor. But in Vedic culture, if you follow, then automatically this distribution is happening. Like prasadam distribution, Amog Leela Prabhu, he comes, he shows, during the COVID time, ISKCON all over the world was trying to help out in different ways. And one of the ways was distribution of prasadam. So like that in Vedic culture, every ceremony, every gathering, there is some distribution of prasadam. That's what the point is. But what specifically Prabhupada is here mentioning, so it was not like dry reception of these modern days. Is probably indicating to those situations where, not such custom is followed. Maybe somebody else can think of anything, can share. But that's what I am understanding from this.
Prabhuji, dry reception means like the food has not been offered to the Lord first. Is that? Do you think that's we can understand it this way? That normally when people are doing something, even
so dry reception is in two ways. One way is that the welcome is very warm. You see here, Prabhupada is writing ingredients like incense, lamps, flowers, sweets, palatable dishes. All these things are being arranged. So it's a very warm welcome. So you can see from this example, sometimes you may be at somebody's house, you visit, and they welcome you so nicely and offer you such a nice warm welcome and reception that you automatically feel like touched by it, and you just don't want to leave that place, but you have to go with time, and even they don't want to have you go. But then, the program is over, everybody is going, so you have to go. So that when that nice welcome from the heart is happening, then automatically both parties, they are able to feel it. So that is the warm reception. Dry means, theek hai bhai, aa gaye to kya ho gaya? People are not really interested in you. They are not really interested in theek hai, it's not a big deal. Especially in US, you go to somebody's house, they may not even offer you anything to eat. It's not necessary, and in here, this is how it is. But if you go to any house in India, they'll want it to welcome you, give you something. They'll say, nahi, suche muh to jaane nahi denge. They will offer something. So that is the kind of understandings there in Vedic culture. Does it make sense, Madhuri?
Yes, Prabhuji. Bilkul. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Anybody else would like to share any insight? Natasha Mataji or any other devotees? Anandi Radha Mataji? Anand Keshori?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji. Anything you want to
Prabhuji.
add?
No, Prabhuji, actually, when I heard this line, when Mataji was saying, the first thing that came to me was the same thing that you're saying. It's the main thing that love for the other person is missing mostly these days. So it's very superficial. There is no like heart to heart. There is no real desire to please other person. It's more as a show off of one's own material possessions and stuff like that, not really uh, caring to show affection and love for the other person these days. So that's how I thought that the word dry is the people's heart are dry. They're not very full of love for the other people.
Thank you, Mataji. Anybody else would like to share? Anandi Radha Mataji.
You can see the last 4 or 5 shlokas.
Everybody is able to hear? Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Last 4 or 5 shlokas, they are given in detail, very minute description of the welcome, how they are welcoming the Lord. If you do at least 1% in our house, any guest came to our house, then Lord will satisfied. Yeah, बोलते ना अतिथि देवो भव, हम अतिथि को क्या भगवान जैसे मानते हैं, तो इसमें से थोड़ा सा ही हम करेंगे ना तो भी बस है. हरे कृष्णा.
Anybody else wants to share any points? Who would like to recite the next one? Okay, I'll recite. Nishamya preshthamayantam
Preshamayantam
Vasudevo Mahamana
Vasudev Mahamana
Akruraschograsenascha Ramashchadbhutavikramah
Ramaschavikramaha
Pradyumnascha Ambojamvati Sutta Praharasha Begochashita Shayanasana Bhojana
Shayanasana Bhojana.
Any volunteers would like to read? Okay, I'll read translation. On hearing that the most dear Krishna was approaching Dwarka Dham, magnanimous Vasudev, Akrura, Ugrasen, Balaram, the superhumanly powerful, Pradyumna, Charudeshna, and Samba, the son of Jamvati, all extremely happy, abandoned resting, sitting, and dining. Purport: Vasudev. So Prabhupada is now going to explain about few words about each of these personalities. Vasudev, son of King Shurasena, husband of Devaki, and father of Lord Krishna. He is the brother of Kunti and father of Subhadra. Subhadra was married with her cousin Arjun, and this system is still prevalent in some parts of India. Vasudev was appointed minister of Ugrasena, and later on he married 8 daughters of Ugrasena's brother Devaka. So Ugrasena and Devaka, they were brothers. Devaki is only one of them. Kamsa was his brother-in-law, and Vasudev accepted voluntary imprisonment by Kamsa on mutual agreement to deliver the 8th son of Devaki. This was foiled by the will of Krishna. As maternal uncle of the Pandavas, he took active parts in the purificatory process of the Pandavas. As the maternal uncle of the Pandavas, he took active parts in purificatory process of Pandavas. He sent for the priest Kashyap at Shatashringa Parvata, and he executed the functions. When Krishna appeared within the bars of Kamsa's prison house, he was transferred to Vasudev, to the house of Nanda Maharaj, the foster father of Krishna at Gokula. Krishna disappeared along with Baladev prior to the disappearance of Vasudev. And Arjun, Vasudev's nephew, undertook the charge of the funeral ceremony after Vasudev's disappearance. Okay. So Krishna and Balram left before Vasudev. And then Vasudev, Arjun was the one who did the funeral ceremony for Vasudev. And then here Prabhupada is saying he sent the priest Kashyap and Shatashringa Parvata, and he executed the functions. When Krishna appeared in the bars, he was transferred by Vasudeva. Okay, great. Who would like to read Akrura?
I
Prabhu,
can read
I didn't understand. I didn't quite understand the first paragraph.
Okay, Mataji. So, first paragraph we can read again. So, basically, who is Vasudev? He is the son of Surasena. And they are mentioning that he was son of Surasena and he was minister in the court of Ugrasena. So Ugrasena is the king. Ugrasena has a brother also, Devaka. So they are both brothers, Ugrasena, Devaka. Devaka has many daughters. Devaki is one of them, but there are many. So 8 daughters are married to Vasudeva. And then the other things, more or less how Krishna appeared and he was taken to by Vasudeva to Gokula. And then they're mentioning that Krishna and Balaram, they left the physical presence on earth before their father, Vasudeva. Vasudeva was still here, but Krishna and Balaram left. And then Vasudev's funeral was done by Arjuna. Is that okay, Mati?
Okay. Yes.
Thank you. Okay, who wants to read Akrura? Somebody was volunteering.
I said, which I can read. Okay. Akrura, the commander-in-chief of the Vrishni dynasty and a great devotee of Lord Krishna. Akrura attained success in devotional service to the Lord by one single process of offering prayer. He was the husband of Sutani, daughter of Ahuka. He supported Arjuna when Arjuna took Subhadra forcibly away by the will of Krishna. Both Krishna and Akrura went to see Arjuna after his successful kidnapping of Subhadra. Both of them presented dowries to Arjuna after this incident. Akrura was present also when Abhimanyu, the son of Subhadra, was married with Uttara, the mother of Maharaj Parikshit. Ahuka, the father-in-law of Akrura, was not on good terms with Akrura, but both of them were devotees of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So even amongst devotees also this can happen.
Yes.
Not be in good terms with each other. Prabhupada is clarifying, but both of them were devotees. So द्वारका में भी ऐसा होता होगा बहुत, some devotee has something. Even when we read the story of the Shamantaka jewel, we see how the Shamantaka jewel, who was the original owner of Shamantaka jewel? Who will tell?
Rup Goswami? Pehle Shivji, I guess.
No, Shamantaka jewel from Dwarka.
Oh, nahi aata.
Krishna book.
No good.
Jambavan?
So Jamban original. How did Jamban get Shamantaka jewel? If any of our Vaikuntha kids students are there, maybe they can answer. They can tell the whole story. Who gave to whom? Satyajit, right? Satyajit.
Yes, Prabhuji. अभी मैंने गूगल किया.
Oh, Google Master. So Satyajit was the owner and he was effulgent. He was looking so beautiful because he had this jewel. And who gave him the jewel?
Sun God.
Sun God, yes. So Sun God gave to Satyajit. Then he gave it to his brother. His brother went to the forest. There, lion attacked, killed, took the jewel. Jamban's son wanted to play with the jewel. Jamban fought with the lion, tiger, whoever, and killed him. Jamban was very powerful and took the jewel, gave it to his son or daughter, whoever, for playing. So then Krishna went. Then Satyajit was blaming Krishna that, Arey, Krishna must have taken, he has stolen my jewel. So Satyajit is a great personality because his daughter was married to Krishna. So his daughter is, expansion of the Shakti Tattva. And so he is also, but this is how they were actually facilitating the Leela of Krishna. This is how they are beautifully, enhancing and making it so interesting. But we can see even he was having things that, oh, Krishna has taken my jewel, this kind of a feeling. So if he is having, then it's so difficult to overcome such feeling for conditioned souls like us. And naturally, it is going to cause problem. We are dealing with others because then we blame, because we are blaming, he is blaming Krishna. So conditioned souls, we are blaming, if we can blame Krishna, we can blame anybody. So that is a very interesting point Prabhupada is also mentioning here, that Akrura and they were not in good terms, family members, but they were both devotees. Okay, so Ugrasen, we'll go forward. We'll go to Ugrasen. Unless anybody wants to say anything. All right, who wants to read?
I can read, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Ugrasen, one of the powerful kings of the Rishni dynasty and cousin of Maharaj Kunti Bhoja. Powerful kings of Rishni dynasty, cousin of Maharaj Kunti Bhoja. Okay. His other name is Ahuka. Oh, okay. So Ahuka is same as Ugrasen. His minister was Vasudev, and his son was powerful.
Maybe you can make a flow chart of this and explain to us.
Actually, that would help because it's hard
Family
to,
tree.
What is
hard
Family
to
tree.
memorize all these names.
so?
I
Just
mean, it's just so confusing.
how Prabhupada has given such a vast knowledge and so many details here in the purports. We sometimes just skip the purports.
Yes, I was actually looking at the last paragraph. In that it was mentioned Akrura was present also when Abhimanyu, son of Subhadra, was married to Uttara,
Exactly.
mother of Maharaj Parikshit, and then it say Ahuka, father-in-law of Akrura. So I didn't know Ahuka is same as Ugrasen. Then later on it's being said.
That's what it-
So last line of the last paragraph in Akrura, Ahuka, father-in-law law of Akrura, was not in good terms with Akrura. So that's Ugrasen basically.
Probably. I don't know.
Both of them are devotees of Lord. Okay. So one of the powerful kings of Vishnu dynasty, cousin of Maharaj Kunti Bhoja. His other name is Ahuka. His minister was Vasudev, and his son was powerful Kamsa. Ugrasen's son was Kamsa. Okay. And okay, this Kamsa imprisoned his father and became the king of Mathura. By the grace of Lord Krishna and his brother Lord Baldev, Kamsa was killed and Ugrasen was reinstalled on the throne. When Shalva attacked the city of Dwarka, Ugrasen fought very valiantly and repulsed the enemy. Ugrasen inquired from Naradji about the divinity of Lord Krishna. When the Yadu dynasty was to be vanquished, Ugrasen was entrusted with the iron lump produced from the womb of Samba. He cut the iron lump into pieces and then pasted it and mixed it up with seawater on the coast of Dwarka. After this, he ordered complete prohibition within city of Dwarka and the kingdom. He got salvation after his death. Hare Krishna. I do not have any knowledge about this last Leela that is being described about the iron lump. Hare Krishna.
All
Anybody
that
know?
will come in 10th canto. Many of these things will come there. So let's keep reading.
Prabhuji, Samba is a boy, right? Why does it say womb of Samba?
It was a joke he was playing. he was putting something and he was showing as if he's pregnant. He went to a rishi and to make fun. Who is this boy or a girl? Rishi said he's going to be this. Obviously, Rishi, you can't crack jokes like this. So he understood they are making fun. He cursed
Yes.
them. So
Yes, I remember this now. Yes, Prabhuji. I think you told us this one time.
So like that,
Mm.
this is a detailed whole Leela and in subsequent sections. So we'll read Baladev. Who would like to read Baladev?
I can read, Prabhuji. Baldev, he is the divine son of Vasudev by his wife Rohini. He is also known as Rohini Nandan, the beloved son of Rohini. He was also entrusted to Nand Maharaj along with his mother Rohini when Vasudev embraced imprisonment by mutual agreement with Kamsa. So Nand Maharaj is also the foster father of Baldev along with Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna and Lord Baldev were constant companions from their very childhood, although they were stepbrothers. He is the plenary manifestation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore he is as good and powerful as Lord Krishna. He belongs to the Vishnu Tattva, the principle of Godhead. He attended the Swayamvar ceremony of Draupadi along with Sri Krishna. When Subhadra was kidnapped by Arjuna by the organized plan of Sri Krishna, Baldev was very angry with Arjuna and wanted to kill him at once. Sri Krishna, for the sake of his dear friend, fell at the feet of Lord Baldeva and implored him not to be so angry. Sri Baldev was thus satisfied. Similarly, he was once very angry with the Kauravas, and he wanted to throw their whole city into the depths of the Yamuna. But the Kauravas satisfied him by surrendering unto his divine lotus feet. He was actually the seventh son of Devaki prior to the birth of Lord Krishna, but by the will of the Lord, he was transferred to the womb of Rohini to escape the wrath of Kamsa. His other name is therefore Sankarshan, who is also the plenary portion of Sri Baldev. Because he is as powerful as Lord Krishna and can bestow spiritual powers to the devotees, he is therefore known as Baldev. In the Vedas also it is enjoined that no one can know the Supreme Lord without being favored by Baldev. Bal means spiritual strength, not physical. Some less intelligent persons interpret Bal as the strength of the body, but no one can have spiritual realization by physical strength. Physical strength ends with the end of the physical body, but spiritual strength follows the spirit soul to the next transmigration. And therefore, the strength obtained by Baldev is never wasted. The strength is eternal, and thus Baldev is the original spiritual master of all devotees. Hare Krishna.
Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai ki jai.
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 So I
So
think
how I have a question. How now the Baldev was the son of Rohini, right? So how Rohini was related to Vasudev?
wife.
Oh, she was also wife of Vasudev?
Yes.
Okay.
Vasudev had many wives. Okay. So who will read next? Mataji, you want to continue?
Sure, Prabhuji. Sri Baldev was also a class friend of Lord Sri Krishna as a student of Sandeepni Muni. In his childhood, he killed many asuras along with Sri Krishna, and specifically, he killed the Dhenukasur at Talwan. During the Kurukshetra battle, he remained neutral, and he tried his best not to bring about the fight. He was in favor of Duryodhan, but still he remained neutral. When there was a club fight between Duryodhan and Bhimsen, he was present on the spot. He was angry at Bhimsen when the latter struck Duryodhan on the thigh or below the belt, and he wanted to retaliate the unfair action. Lord Sri Krishna saved Bhima from his wrath, but he left the place at once, being disgusted at Bhimsen. And after his departure, Duryodhan fell to the ground to meet his death. The funeral ceremony of Abhimanyu, the son of Arjuna, was performed by him as he was the maternal uncle. It was impossible to be performed by any one of the Pandavas, who were all overwhelmed with grief. At the last stage, he departed from this world by producing a great white snake from his mouth, and thus he was carried by Sheshnag in the shape of a serpent. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Abhimanyu's funeral was done by Baladev. See, Prabhupada is giving so many details there. Because they were overwhelmed by grief. And then when he was departed from this world by producing a great white snake from his mouth, and thus he was carried by Sheshinag in the shape of a servant. Haribo. Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maiya ki jai.
So he was killed by the snake?
No, Mataji, the snake came from him, the Sheshnag. Baldev is the form of Sheshnag, right?
Oh, okay.
Baldev, Sheshnag came from him and then took him, carried Baldev. The Sheshnag basically is expansion only, carried Baldev to Vaikuntha, spiritual world. Okay. All right. Who will read Pradyumna? Any volunteers?
Hare Krishna, I can read.
Please.
Pradyumna, incarnation of Kamadev, or according to others, incarnation of Sanat Kumar, born as the son of the personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, and Lakshmi Devi, Srimati Rukmini, the principal queen at Dwarka. He was one of those who went to congratulate Arjun upon his marrying Subhadra. He was one of the great generals who fought with Salva, and while fighting with him, he became unconscious on the battlefield. His charioteer brought him back to the camp from the battlefield, and for this action, he was very sorry and rebuked his charioteer. However, he fought again with Salva and was victorious. He heard all the different demigods from about the different demigods from Naradji. He is one of the 4 plenary expansions of Lord Shri Krishna. He is the 3rd one. He inquired from his father, Shri Krishna, about the glories of the Brahmanas during the fratricidal war amongst the descendants of Yadu. He died at the hand of Bhoja, another king of Vrishnis. After his death, he was restored in his original position.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Of course, Yadus, all of them, they were in one way family of Krishna only. So nobody could actually kill them. So Krishna arranged a way in which they actually fight with each other and everybody goes back to Godhead. Is why, Pradyumna actually expansion, but here in this Leela is saying that he died. Who would like to read next? I think we have just a couple more paragraphs. We'll conclude after this. Charu Deshna. Okay, I'll read. Charu Deshna, another son of Lord Shri Krishna and Rukmini Devi. So he's a brother of whose brother is Charu Deshna? Pradyumna's. Yeah. He was also present during the Swayamvar ceremony of Draupadi. He was a great warrior like his brother and father. He fought with Vivinidhak and killed him in the fight. So we've heard of Pradyumna many times, but Charu Deshna is also his brother. Who will read Samba? Okay, I'll read. One of the great heroes of the Yadu dynasty and son of Lord Shri Krishna by his wife Jamvati. He learned the military art of throwing arrows from Arjun, and he became a member of parliament during the time of Maharaj Yudhishthir. He was present during the Rajasuya Yajna of Maharaj Yudhishthir. When all the Vrishnis were assembled during the time of Prabhas Yajna, his glorious activities were narrated by Satyaki before Lord Baladev. He was also present along with his father, Lord Shri Krishna, during the Ashwamedha Yajna performed by Yudhishthir. He was present before some rishis falsely dressed. He was presented before some rishis falsely dressed as a pregnant woman by his brothers. And in fun, he asked the rishis what he was going to deliver. The rishis replied that he would deliver a lump of iron which would be the cause of fratricidal war in the family of Yadu. The next day in the morning, Shamba delivered a large lump of iron which was entrusted to Ugrasen for necessary action. Actually, later on, there was the foretold fratricidal war and Shamba died in that war. So all these sons of Lord Shri Krishna left their respective places and leaving aside all engagements, including lying down, sitting and dining, hastened over their exalted father. So this was the original shloka. And then Prabhupada took the opportunity to explain about each and every personality in this so that the audience like us, we don't know who is who. So we can relate to all this. And then of course in Prabhupada's explanation there are so many things which are coming which we will want to know more about. So for that, stay tuned and complete the whole Bhagavatam. All right, so we'll stop here. Anybody wants to share anything? Anybody would like to share some nectar?
Prabhuji, did you stop doing Gita at noon, 12:15? Because couple of times
We
I
stopped.
went in the link and
Yeah, my work schedule was not allowing, but I'm going to start either tomorrow or
okay.
day. I'll let you know.
No problem. I just thought that
Thank you,
we are
ma'am.
not doing anymore.
We
Okay.
are going to start again. Okay, so I think we'll conclude here. श्री ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय,
Jai.
प्रभुपाद की जय।
Jai.